All right, everybody, get ready because we are diving headfirst into something really interesting today.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
We are talking all things Taylor Swift,
Always a good time.
specifically her upcoming Eras tour stop in Toronto. And we're going beyond just the music, all right? We're going to dig into the economics of it all, the cultural impact, the whole shebang. I've got a stack of articles and research here, and I know you do too. So let's break it down.
Sounds good to me.
So, first things first, we've got count 'em, six concerts at Rogers Center happening this November.
Between the 14th and the 23rd, to be exact.
Right, right. That's a whole lot of Swifties, folks.
Yeah.
And Destination Toronto, there's the tourism board up there. They're already predicting a massive, and I mean massive, influx of cash.
Yeah, they're talking about something like $282 million in economic activity.
Wow. Just from these six concerts?
Well, not just from the tickets themselves. You got to think about all the spending that happens around a huge event like this. Hotels, restaurants, transportation, it all adds up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fans are flying in from all over, right? They need places to stay, things to eat.
Exactly. And that's what's really interesting here. Of that $282 million, $152 million is predicted to come directly from fans.
Wow, just from what they're spending.
Direct spending, yeah. And get this, roughly $141 million of the TAN is from those folks traveling into the city, and then another $11 million from local fans.
So even the locals are getting in on the action.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you already live in Toronto, chances are you're still going to spend some extra cash when a massive event like this rolls into town. Maybe you'll grab dinner near the stadium before the show or buy some merch.
I was just thinking that. All the merch, t-shirts, posters, a whole nine yards.
Exactly. And we're just scratching the surface here. That direct spending, that $152 million, it creates what economists call a multiplier effect. Basically, the idea is that the initial spending from an event like this, it doesn't just disappear, it ripples out.
Okay, so explain that. What do you mean like a ripple effect?
So think about it. When a fan books a hotel room, the hotel then uses that money to pay its staff, buy supplies, maybe even invest in some upgrades.
Right, right. So it keeps going.
Exactly. And then those employees, they go out and spend their paychecks in the local economy. It just keeps circulating.
It's like dropping a pebble in a pond and watching the ripple spread out.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of spreading out, we got to talk about the sheer size, the magnitude of this tour. This isn't just any concert. This is the Eras Tour.
This is what, the first tour to ever break $1 billion in revenue.
$1 billion. It's mind-boggling. And then you add in that record-breaking concert film, and it just solidifies the whole thing as a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, it really is more than just a concert, isn't it?
It's an experience.
It's an event.
And Toronto is about to get a taste of it firsthand with an estimated 240,000 fans expected to flood the city over those 6 nights.
240,000. Wow. Have they given any indication of what kind of security measures they're going to have in place?
Oh, I'm sure they're ramping things up. But beyond security, think about all the other preparations. We're talking fan events, themed brunches, pop-up shops. The whole city is going to transform. There's even an event called Toronto's version, Tailgate 24.
Tailgate 24? What is that?
They haven't released too many details yet, but it sounds like it's going to be a huge fan gathering, picture meetups, costume parties, maybe even some live music. The city is going to be buzzing.
It's amazing, though, isn't it, the way something like this can energize a whole city?
Absolutely. But, while all this excitement and all this revenue are fantastic for Toronto, we do have to acknowledge the other side of the coin here.
Meaning, what are we missing?
Well, all those rosy revenue figures, they come with a cost. Nothing's free, right? Think about it. Increased strain on public transportation, the need for heightened security, just the general pressure on resources that comes with that many extra people in the city.
That makes sense. You're going to have lines for the subway, traffic jam.
Exactly. And it's not just about inconvenience. It costs money to manage all of that.
Yeah.
Extra police officers, transit workers, sanitation crews. It adds up.
Yeah.
One expert, Joanne McNeish, she brought up a really important point in one of these articles. She said that for this to be truly beneficial for Toronto, the revenue has to outweigh those additional costs.
It's a balancing act, for sure.
Exactly.
So what have we learned? The Eras Tour, it's more than just a concert series. It's a fascinating look at how these large-scale events can impact a city, economically, culturally, in terms of resources.
It's a microcosm of the relationship between big events and the places they're held.
Exactly.
And it really makes you wonder, is this model of mega events and mega revenue sustainable in the long run? As these events get bigger and bigger, what happens to the cities that host them? Something to think about.